In June of 2011, Canadian hockey fans were incredibly excited to have a Canadian NHL team, the Vancouver Canucks, in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Boston Bruins. The atmosphere in Canada was electric. The Canucks had had an amazing season and represented the best hope Canadians had had for the Stanley Cup since the Montreal Canadiens had won the Cup in 1993. The finals for the Stanley Cup are decided using a best-of-7 games format. A team has to win 4 games to win the Cup. The Canucks won the first 2 games of the finals, but the Boston Bruins came back with a vengeance and won the next 2 games, tying the series up 2-2. The Canucks goalie, Roberto Luongo, had a great Game 5, making 31 saves and allowing his team to win 1-0. But the Bruins won Game 6. This means that a 7th game was needed to break the 3-3 tie and determine the Stanley Cup winner. This incredibly tense make-or-break final game was played in Vancouver. Crowds gathered on the streets near the Rogers Arena to watch the game on outdoor screens. The crowd experienced a roller coaster ride of hope and anxiety. Inside the arena, the game began. Just over 14 minutes into the first period, the Bruins had scored the first goal of the game. In the second period, the Bruins scored 2 more goals, putting the Canucks 3 goals down going into the third and final period of the game. Finally, near the end of the third period, the Bruins scored their 4th and last goal on an empty net after the Canucks pulled their goalie. The Vancouver Canucks had lost the series. As the game wrapped up around 7:45, the devastated and angry Canucks fans outside the arena began to riot. Fans threw bottles at the screens in the viewing area. Flags and jerseys were set on fire. Vehicles were smashed, flipped over, and burned, including 2 Vancouver police cars that were set on fire. The windows of businesses along Georgia Street were smashed, and some businesses were looted. A police report released after the riot says Vancouver police were surprised by the sheer number of people that had gathered. The police estimated 155,000 people were in the area. Only about 800 to 900 police officers were present. The police report also claims that people came to the area with the intent to start a riot. Then the intoxicated and angry crowd cheered on the rioters, and some joined in with them. The rioters trashed the city for hours, causing about $9 million in damage. 140 people were injured, but luckily nobody was killed. The police arrested 101 people the night of the riot, and after their investigation into the riot, they ended up laying 887 charges against 301 people. To help in their investigation, police received over 1 million still photos and thousands of hours of video footage from members of the crowd who recorded the riot. This riot changed the way that Vancouver handles large public events, with increased security and precautions. This riot shocked and embarrassed the people of Vancouver, and local citizens volunteered to clean up the mess and damage. Around 15,000 people showed up to help restore the city. The boarded-up windows of local businesses were covered in messages to apologize and to try to help the city heal. These gestures demonstrated that the actions of a few, the rioters, do not represent the values of the whole community. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing. It would really help me out. And while you're here, check out these links to a couple of other interesting videos. Thanks and see you next time.